Barnes gets a start. 2. That comes in high. Dave Bryant with Bill O'Neill, our guest commentator for the rest of this broadcast. And Randy is back hustling from lane level.
You know, what's interesting, Bill, is that Chris Barnes actually changed his starting lane right before the interview. He was going to start on the right lane, and he changed it right before we came back on the air. First opening shot, 4.79.
I guess he likes the right lane better then. What's the finish on it?
Tough split. Things off, and just the 8-pin counts. 4-9 stand for Chris Barnes. Early open. Bill, how do you overcome that mentally, an early open frame?
You know, it's just one frame, and you know that the scores are going to be low. You watched Doherty bowl the first match, and he didn't have a great ball reaction to throw a lot of strikes. So you know, you just kind of take your open frame and move on.
Whoa! They're hooking a little more. Okay.
7-pin count. 3-6-10 for Tom here.
You know, Bill, I thought it was interesting before we went on the air, you were watching practice, and you said if the TV pair gets like the practice pair, they're going to be ugly. What exactly did you see? Because your prediction, as of right now, is correct. It's spot on.
Yeah, I mean, with the urethane, no matter how much, Barnes said that only a couple guys were throwing it, but it's still enough to make them really tight down the lane. And now you see that Doherty's trying to throw this urethane ball, and he's trying to throw it slower to make sure it doesn't do what Anthony Simons' ball did. And so now he gets a little bit too slow, and it goes high. So now it becomes very tricky.
All 10 down for Tom Doherty. A lone title, a 201-82 win over Oscar Palermo. Vegas in 2012. It's been a while.
Well, folks, the urethane bowling balls carry oil down towards the pins. Reactive resin balls take oil off the lane and burn it up in the front. And so what happens is when you have a lot of urethane balls go down the lane, or any urethane ball, you start to get a lot more carry down. You get that. Wow. One ball goes high, one ball goes light. Chris Barnes is using reactive resin trying to blend that out. Bill, based on what you're seeing now, what would you do?
If it was me, I would use a ball that has a lot more surface on it, so that I could just throw it at the gutter and let it just be really smooth off it. I think when you have balls that have shine on it, they do one thing. They do just like he did here. Left it goes high, right it goes light.
I couldn't agree more. I think you got to go with strength, don't you? So that if nothing else,
Took it out. How about that conversion? Oh, the 210. Sweet split conversion for Chris Barnes. Look at our tough spare replay brought to you by Hammer, guys. No question. Bill, what do you think?
I think this is a spare that Barnes probably makes 40% of the time.
Wow.
So he's an excellent spare shooter.
And again, getting back to the surface of the bowling ball, go with something stronger so that you at least know that if you get it right, it's going to hook.
Can he rebound? Losing the channel there, and oh my goodness, can it be?
And I think this is what we're talking about here.
Right. I mean, hang down lane, ball's too shiny.
You need to at least know one thing it's going to do. So
right.
if you use a ball with surface on it, you know it's going to hook early. At least you have that.
Right.
At this point, he doesn't know what his ball's going to do.
And if that ball doesn't hook from that spot, you've got to get out of that ball.
It has to hook back from there.
Right.
Okay. Well, you know where to stand now.
Well, he did it once. Can he do it again? Have you ever seen a back-to-back 210?
I haven't. I mean, I have, but not very often. Maybe we'll see it here.
This would be spectacular. Nope. Wow. Off. Whiffs and an open. And Chris does not look himself. Come on. Talk about the injury he's been overcoming. Surgery last year. Doherty's been watching a couple bowlers just implode on the bench here. Now can Tom take it? Yes, that's how you do it. Capitalize on an opponent's error, right, Bill?
That's right. I mean, you got to strike up there, and your opponent's lost. You can get up here in the third and fourth and really put the screws to him here.
I mean, I think if you're going to move right and go straight like Tom Doherty's doing, you have to do it with a urethane bowling ball. The other move is going to something stronger, reactive, maybe a little surface moving in and throwing it to the dirt, getting something that you know is going to read each and every time. But I think for Chris Barnes, if he continues with the same bowling ball and he continues to move right, I think it's trouble.
There was a bug flying.
I think that if he moves a couple right and tries to slow down and avoid the 210, he's going to go high again.
Yeah, I agree.
Chris is as
Nice and slow.
much a thinking man, strategist as anyone in the game's ever seen. So he is mulling over all the options right now. Fourth frame looks for the turkey. And delivers. A roundhouse right for Tom Doherty early in this match. And look at that lead, 46 pins. Thanks to Barnes' early struggles. He's got reason to smile. Would you be smiling, Bill? That's a big lead. A little early for a smile, maybe.
The only time Bill smiles is at the end when he's holding the trophy.
Yeah,
and the check.
he's a pretty serious dude on lanes. That's true. All right, Chris Barnes trolling looking for, and oh my gosh, 7-10.
Right now, Barnes feels like he's slowly being poisoned.
You know, I actually asked him yesterday when he was practicing about using surface, and he said that wasn't his game plan, and he did not want to do that. He felt more comfortable with balls that were a little shinier. So he's sticking to his game plan, which you have to do that on TV, but to a certain point where you have to get out of it.
Chris Barnes struggling the back surgery from last year. Talk more about it.
Back's feeling okay. I mean, actually, the back feels good. My leg is the bigger issue. So when they trimmed that disc, it was originally leading on a nerve. I'd lost a lot of strength in my leg. And so it kind of fully came back. I felt like I was as close to 100% as I'll be. And then, you know, we had a new dog. I got tripped up over it, no big deal, but I zinged that nerve again. And so it all the way down to my knee again. It's regenerating again. So I'm 85 or 90% right now, I think.
Yeah, he just looks like he's gingerly walking back toward the bench, guys. Does get a strike. Some
Hey, welcome back to TV.
applause.
All right, good times.
So good. But he's down by 57 pins. By the way, going back to the 710, Jess Stayrook, Tucson, Arizona, 1991. Last person to convert a 710 PBA Tour on TV. That's a long-standing record that I was hoping maybe we would see changed by Chris Barnes, but not today.
You would think that it would have been converted a couple more times, seeing how hard the players throw at it these days.
Bringing 10 pin. Stays solid.
Billy's doing exactly what he needs to do. He's keeping the ball in play. His ball reaction's very predictable.
And that's what you need out here right now. With as tricky as the lane pattern is, and now you see your opponent has 40 in the fourth. You just have to hit the pocket, leave 9, and get to the end of the game.
Takes care of his mark.
You surprised at all at what Doherty's done this season? Best season ever for him.
No, I'm not surprised at all. I mean, you know, even though he's been out here a long time, he's consistently improved, and now he's at the point where, like anybody, when you have a little bit of success and then your confidence grows, then you can turn it into a lot more success.
Wow, look at all those red circles. Tough one for Chris Barnes. Okay, maybe we're had that 710 after all. Had a little fun with Chris Barnes here. You can laugh it up when you're up by 54 pins.
Well, I'll tell you what, if there's one thing we learned about Tom Doherty, it's he's very entertaining. And when you look back at the game that he bowled against Mika when he shot 100 on television, he had a pretty good time with that. And you know what? Can the 710 be made here at Thunderbolt in the arena here?
You saw some pins bounce out, but they always bounced out into the gutter. You didn't really see a whole lot of pins bounce back.
How about some history? No. Tom Doherty, 7-4 career TV record. Now that 207.82 does include the 100 game when Mika Koivuniemi flirted with his 300.
Yeah, that'll put a dent in the old average.
It will, but Tom just laughs about it when he talks about that.
That makes that 207 look a lot better.
Ball change for Mr. Barnes.
Whoa. Well, it wasn't a split.
Thank you.
10 pin.
Appreciate
He's
that.
probably pretty happy about not having
Yeah, great break.
a split to do.
Wow.
This has been a struggle.
Not enough reaction, has to play too far to the right. Ball comes in late.
My opinion is you're just not getting the ball to start up early enough.
Right.
It's too far down the lane, and you can see it. It just doesn't have enough time to get around the corner and get back to flush.
Bill, how often on the tour, on the diverse oil patterns that you play on, how often are players looking to get their bowling balls to read early?
It's the most important thing in my opinion. I think most amateurs look at their balls as hooking from left to right, and professionals look at it in front to back way.
Right.
You have to get your ball hooking in the right spot, in the front of the lane. If it's too far down the lane, it's just not going to have the angle's going to be bad, and your carry's going to suffer.
So the days of looking for that skid snap are over. You guys are trying to get your balls to read early, correct?
That's correct.
So it's,
yes.
so it's off the end of the pattern, nice and
You
smooth.
still want even the guys who are hooking a lot left to right are still looking for the balls to hook in the right spot in front.
Back to Tom Doherty.
Uh-oh.
So the big four there for a second.
Woo.
Just the four stands.
Wow.
Avoids a disaster.
It was almost.
kinda
It was
cushion.
almost a split.
Sure was.
Great observation, Tom Doherty. Almost a split. Right through the face. Big four is standing, and now it's just the 4-pin.
I love that line because he's trying to make Barnes angry.
Right.
That's what he's doing. He's trying to get in it, even though he's got the match in his hands. And it's all a matter of what he does. He still has to have the little jab in there.
Well, I don't know where this one's going.
I think he has a decent idea where it's going.
I think
Jason Belmonte is next, by the way, 2 seed.
I think he knows where it's going. He's just not real sure what it's going to do.
Well, he's better get sure because Belmo waits. Strike. Wouldn't even watch it down lane there, Bill.
To me, it's all an act. I think that was
agree.
a really, really good shot, and he knew it was good.
I agree.
And
So it's a
think
sarcastic
Yes.
disgust.
Yes.
I love it. This guy is great TV, Tom Doherty. We need him on television more often.
Oh,
There was
man.
nothing not to like about that
What
shot.
an entertainer. That's pretty good. All right, end of the road here for Chris Barnes. Does strike. Chris did tell us that the doctor did the surgery last fall, the same doctor that's worked with both Prince Fielder, now the retired Texas Rangers slugger, and Tony Romo. Cowboys quarterback out with a broken bone in his back. See his arsenal.
Going with a boost, 5.0 hook rating. Bill, I think if he was more up into that 8.0, he'd have a better look.
Or even if he just used this same ball
With
with
some
like a 1,000 grit on it or something, it would be better. But if he strikes here, he makes Doherty finish this game out with a couple marks.
Still 203 possibility if he sheets it.
Yes, okay, things get interesting here. Cuts into the lead with 3 in a row. Forcing Tom to show up.
Check out this pin carry, too. Very interesting. Again, coming in real late. Pocket 4, 6, 7. It was there for a second.
See, now we got a match
My
here.
goodness.
Now we have a match.
2, 8, 10. Little double wood here.
Look at Chris. Think he knows it?
He can't believe it. I can't believe it. After the start CB had.
The count is really important on this spare.
Yes.
He has to get 2.
Got a little right and hung.
Like all of us, when our spine tilt gets a little bit forward and we get on top of ourselves a little
Get
bit,
over
we miss it at the bottom. That's what happens.
It's an open frame in the ninth so late, and the door, can it be, guys, is open for Chris Barnes?
Well, Doherty needs 3 in the 10th here, and he'd shut out Chris Barnes by a stick. But if he doesn't double, Barnes can. And he could take this match and steal it right from Tom Doherty.
That would be incredible.
What a turn of events here, guys.
That's what Tom needs. First one. Yes, there's one.
All right, so another strike in 9. We have the possibility of a tie.
Seems to me that anytime his ball speed is just a little bit on the slower side is when it's the best. When he gets a little bit firmer and it doesn't hook in the first 30 feet of the lane, he's got problems.
Sure.
So if I'm him, I'm just thinking slow here.
Oh boy.
Got it up the lane.
Crossing over.
See that?
6-10.
That was the full Yankee.
Just
right
trying
at
to
the
make it
bottom.
interesting, folks.
Well, you are, Tom.
Barnes needs a double.
Still.
Barnes gets a double, he wins. How about that?
He did throw it slow, but he did also miss an arrow left, so that wasn't my advice.
Oh, my goodness.
It's okay.
Yeah, he just needed,
I only needed one.
He needed one.
Yeah, just needed one there, but still. So now Chris Barnes, a double, stepping
right
up.
Barnes is going to take a re-rack.
Win this match. It is unfathomable to imagine from the beginning this matchup with Tom Doherty. Bill, he was so far behind.
Yeah, I think he thought he was out, but he saw once, once he had a chance to throw a triple and he actually feels like his ball's rolling to the pins okay, he got up there in the ninth and made a great shot.
He was down 56 at one point after 4 frames.
That's incredible.
Now he has a chance to win. This same situation happened to Chris Barnes, Tournament of Champions one year with Michael Haugen Jr. But that was for a title.
Man, he missed that pocket.
Unbelievable.
I didn't like that one at all.
Never got into the spot.
Chris's main problems on shots he needs in the 10th is he gets very forward, and his upper body gets way too far in front of him, and then this is what happens. He misses it at the bottom, and that one never got far enough right either.
So Tom Doherty on the bench does win. Watching Chris Barnes fail to strike there. The 10-pin stands. So Tom Doherty knocks off Chris Barnes. He'll take on Jason Belmonte, the reigning and 3-time PBA Player of the Year. Doherty looking for just his second career title. Looking to upset Belmonte when we return to suburban Detroit.